I'm going to make some crispy Chipotle fajitas. Today I'm going to use some ribeye steak. I have 3 nice pieces here that are small and thin, and we're going to cut them up into fajita style strips. This adds up to about 3/4 of a pound, 3 little pieces. I'm going to use a large Vidalia onion, a stick of butter, a little red raspberry jam. I'm going to use a can of Chipotle salsa. This is the same kind of can that you usually see the Chipotle peppers in adobo sauce, but I'm going to use the salsa this time because it contains the peppers and it's already chopped up, so it saves me a step and it's all good stuff in there. I'm going to use fajita shells and I'm going to use some cream cheese. So the first thing we got to do is take the butter and melt it. We're going to put it in a Pyrex measuring cup and melt it in the microwave. We use a whole cup of butter, but we use 1/3 of a cup in each of the steps. So we're going to melt that to start. And I'm also going to chop up the onion and slice up the ribeye steak. And then we'll be back to cook it in the cast iron pan. We're just going to make some large slices here that we can break apart into the frying pan. We don't want them to be too small because they'll be part of the filling with the meat. Okay, now the ribeyes are nice and thin. They're going to cook real quickly, so I'm going to take off the big chunks of fat here. We don't want any of the extra fat. We have a lot of nice modeling in here, but we're going to get rid of the fat that we don't need. And I'm just going to make nice thin strips like this. So we'll have strips like this when we're ready to put them in the pan. Nice. Okay, trimmed off all the fat, and we're just going to make nice thin slices. Alright, I think we're ready. Let's get this in the frying pan. We're going to move to the cast iron pan. Alright, we're heating up the cast iron pan, and I'm just going to add a little olive oil here to get this started. As soon as that looks hot, we're going to start throwing in our onions and ribeye steak. Alright, as this starts to heat up, we're going to throw in the onions and the ribeye strips, and we'll spread them out nicely so they get browned on all sides. That's a nice looking meat, isn't it? Okay, we'll throw it all in here. Let it start to sizzle. Get some good smells and flavors going here. Alright, in the meantime, I'm going to get the fajita shells ready on the counter to fill. with this nice ingredient. Ooh, that's nice. Alright, I'll be right back. Coming along here. Alright, about ready to take it out of the pan. And we're going to spread this on the tortilla shells. Look how nice and brown the onions and the beef are. Alright. And I'm going to quickly remove this from the pan while we want to keep the pan hot. Now if you have a steak that has a lot of drippings and a lot of fat from it, here you can drain the fat out of the pan. You can see it's this kind of pan will keep cooking even when the heat's turned off, so that's why I like it, because we can move quickly from one spot to the next. Get all this out of here. And we're going to start the sauces. Alright. We're going to start with the can of Chipotle salsa. And we're going to pour this into the pan. You'll hear the sizzle. Wow, look at the richness. Isn't that nice? Alright. And for that, we're going to mix 2/3 of a cup of raspberry jam. I'm going to start letting that. I'm not even turning the heat back on for this. I'm just using the natural heat build up in this pan. And then we're going to throw in a half a block of cream cheese, 4 ounces. Alright, let's mix it up while the pan is hot. Here we go. Now, in this recipe, you don't need to completely melt the cream cheese. It can still be in chunks. We just want to spread this out so that all the flavors are mixed together. And wow, this is spicy and sweet at the same time. Alright, the heat is off, so I'm just going to let this sit and melt together while we assemble the tortilla shells. Then we're going to top it with this sauce. Back to the countertop, I laid out 5 tortilla shells here. We're going to spread the meat filling out among them real quickly. Keep everything nice and hot. Alright, after you have everything dumped out, try to make the same kind of amount in each one. We're going to take the melted butter first. I'm using a toaster oven for this recipe. You can use your regular oven if you make a larger batch with a cookie sheet. But I took the 1 stick of butter and I'm just going to pour it into the bottom of this pan. 1/3 of it. 1/3 of the butter. We just want all the shells to be touching the butter when they hit the pan. Alright, spread it out nice. Now, there's our 5 tortilla shells filled with meat and onions. Now I'm going to bring the sauce and we're going to put some in each one of these tortilla shells. Alright, here comes the hot pan. We'll set it next to our working area and we're going to start scooping out of there. You can see, take a close look at that mixture. Like I said, the cream cheese doesn't have to be like smooth and creamy in there, but we do want it broken down enough that we can spread it out on top of each of these tortillas. I don't know if you ever had this kind of recipe for a tortilla. It's gonna be spicy a little bit. It doesn't have peppers like the usual green and red peppers that you chop up, but it does have some heat. So we got one more here. I like a good amount of sauce in these. This recipe probably has enough sauce to make 6 or 8 if you really wanted to. But I trimmed the meat so much that I ended up with less. Okay, now I'm going to start rolling these up. As I roll them up, we're going to place them in the buttered pan. Okay? We're going to do the tuck in the ends. Roll it tight like this. If a little sauce comes out, a-okay. Plenty in there. Tuck in the ends. It's a little messy. Try to capture all those juices, but if they come out a little bit, it's okay. I'm putting the folded side down. Wow, that looks delicious. Oh my God. Alright, now that's laying on a little butter, right? Before it goes into the oven, we're going to pour a little bit more on there. Okay. Now I'm preheating the oven to 350 degrees. We're going to stick it in there for 10 minutes. Okay, now that I poured the butter on there, I'm going to put it into a preheated toaster oven. As I said, you can use your regular oven. 350 degrees for 15 minutes. At the end of 15 minutes, we're going to take it out and pour the rest of the butter on. And I just want to show you where I got the recipe from this cookbook, A Taste of Cowboy. And this is Cowboy Kent Rollins and his wife Shannon wrote this book, and I've been getting a lot of use out of it. Of course, I alter the recipes a little bit. I don't think they would mind, but I wanted to show you where I was finding that recipe. Alright, let's get these in the oven. Alright, there they are. They're going to bake for 15 minutes and we'll be back. Alright, here we go. First 15 minutes. Look at that butter sizzling in there. Can you see that? Hear that? We're going to take the measuring cup with melted butter in and we're going to put the rest of the butter on top. You can see they're starting to brown nicely. So we're just going to drizzle a little bit more. Spread it out. Oh boy, they're looking good. Looking good. Okay, back in the oven for 10 more minutes. Okay, time's up. Here we go. Look at this. Coming out of the oven, sizzling. Nice and golden brown. Woo! Isn't that beautiful? Look at this, nice crunchy outside. You can see the nice saucy inside and lots of butter to spread around. Let's take some of these out of the pan and put them on a serving plate. Crunchy Chipotle fajitas with ribeye steak. Let's cut them open and see how they look. Alright, let's cut one open here. Look at that. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you liked it and hope you get to try it and check out the Kent Rollins cookbook. I'll put the link below for that too.